awaydaysbeer.com. Proud to partner with Talking Town. For only $14.99, grab your ITFC Legends Pack from The Beat to Hoppy Robson to Brazil's Best and Pablo's Pal. Whatever you need, whatever you want. ITFC Legends Pack, $14.99 at awaydaysbeer.com. Grab it today. Mass Creations are proud partners of Talking Town. High quality web and software development. From web development to SEO and everything in between, make your vision a reality with Mass Creations. Call 07896 904 571 or visit masscreations.co.uk or email info@masscreations.co.uk. Mass Creations, proud partners of Talking Town. Don't forget, tell them you came from Talking Town to get 10% off. Best Burger in Stowmarket, proud partners of Talking Town. Call 01449 680 058 to book a table today. Support for Talking Town is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Hold up, fellas. I don't think we've quite understood what I'm talking about here. We've gone years in the UK without using the right tools for the job. Long gone are the days of a razor blade in the mirror. No more shall we look like Sideshow Bob down there. Manscaped have redesigned the electric trimmer. Their engineering team have perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents because nobody wants a bloodbath in the bathroom. Did I tell you it's got waterproof technology so you can dim those lights, get yourself in the shower and groom to your heart's content? Whatever you do, however you do it with Manscaped's Lawnmower 3.0, and don't forget, you can get 20% off and free delivery with the code TT. Manscaped.com. Make your testies their besties. My friends, and you are my friends, and we are back with another transfer special / Talking Town podcast. It is Sunday 1:30. I'm very excited because after a couple of weeks of not a lot happening, players being told they can leave, etc., suddenly we're bursting into life. And like London buses, you wait for one and then 3, 4, 500 turn up all at once. So Macauley Bonne is the latest recruit at Portman Road. After selling Andre Dazelle, they thought they better give me a new name that I might struggle with. So here we are with a centre forward. I can see some people in the chat getting busy, and I love to see an active chat. So thank you ever so much. Get all your comments, your opinions, questions, get chatting to each other in there as well. We'll put as many as we can on the screen, and of course a live link coming into the chat, and you can come on the show and have your say on yesterday. Obviously, Raheem Harper, worst kept secret in Ipswich Town's history, being announced. Great show. If you've not seen it, do jump back. We have a West Brom fan on the show, and he really highlights. I mean, Juventus was mentioned at one point. Should play in the Premier League. Far too good for Ipswich. All these different things that should be being spoken about on a louder basis. But hey, Talking Town presented it, so it won't be. But it's really, really interesting stuff. We've got some Fearsome 4 coming up. If you've not yet done that, link coming into the chat. We've got Steve Davis. Nice to know if anyone has any ideas what we've got players we've sold apart from Dazelle. all undisclosed fees, but we'll get into that very shortly. Don't forget, we are still giving away 2 ITFC shirts. The away shirt has yet to be revealed, but you could still win it. Just hit subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, that's all you've got to do. Very easy and very quick. Right, let's bring in somebody who I think he's been part of the mystery gang this morning. Mr. Phillips, how you doing?
Hi everybody, how are you all doing? You okay?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you on this fine Sunday morning? What have you been up to?
Good. It's been a busy one today. We've been getting ready for Wimbledon, playing swing ball in the garden, me and the boy. Then we played some football, and then we finished it off with just acting out some Scooby-Doo shows.
Nice. And what are you? I mean, you've got to be the villain, right?
No. I'm the mystery gang, and my lad he dresses up as the villain and chases me around the garden. So God knows what the neighbours are making of all of this.
Face like yours, mate, you've got to be a villain. Trust me. You got to. I don't want to go away with you pesky kids.
Yeah. That's the line, isn't it? That's the line that everyone wants to do. But yeah, I'm the whole mystery gang rolled into one. Yeah. Good fun. Enjoyed it.
I call you Selma. ITFC Tweedy drilling on his way out. Great news. Yes, we'll get to that. Yes, I've been somersaulting through Stowmarket High Street this morning. Roly-polies galore. I've never moved so well. Stephen, Matt Velm. Apparently the Snake Pit was getting all excited, Matt, because Matt Crooks liked the ITFC tweet. Probably got fat thumbs. I mean, so, we've had who has been like? Was it the guy from Borough liking all our stuff? These players sit on sun lounges and they just,
Everyone knows everyone in football. So
yeah, absolutely.
People read too much into stuff, don't they? People haven't got nothing much going on in their lives, I think.
Well, yeah, that's true. But talk to me about yesterday's show. You obviously were on it with me and George Nunn. Great show. Really insightful.
Just laughing at Hox's message there. Can you pull that up, mine? At the bottom.
Come from Andy Murray to shag you within a minute.
Very true, Hox. Very true, mate. Yes.
It still wasn't you.
Very true. I mean, listen, yesterday, Raheem Harper with my mate Chris. Chris knows his stuff, which is why as soon as we got linked to a West Brom player, I said, let's get him on because he, I think you would struggle to find anyone who knows anything about their squad more than he does. So he gave us some great insight. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. He'd not mentioned that to me previously, that they had to fight tooth and nail to keep Harper from going to Celtic. And then Juventus was even mentioned. So there you go. But this just goes to show when you've got, little flashes and highlights of talent that, Cooker's obviously seen and wants to see if we can bring out a little bit more. It shows you what kind of player. But I mean, when I did mention Harper coming to Ipswich to Chris, probably a month ago and said, look, would you be interested in coming on if it does happen? He was like, how much are you paying? I said, well, maybe $1 million. He was like, he's going to be worth 10 times that. And then in the end, we found out it's probably $500,000, probably rising to $1 million with various different things. But, and we did mention it yesterday, very similar to Jet, I think. Someone who's not quite fulfilled their potential in a higher division has dropped down. If we can maybe get 1%-3% better out of him than maybe West Brom have managed, we'll have a real asset on our hands, I think. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Talking about getting 2, 3, 4, or in their case, 50% more out of themselves. Austria last night. I know you're a big Italian national football fan.
Yeah.
Before we bring the crunch room, what did you make of the Austrian boys yesterday? Cool. They really put a shift in.
They did really well. It was odd, wasn't it? It was an odd game because for 90 minutes, no one looked like they wanted to win it. Arnautovic was probably unlucky with that header. It was only a fraction of side, wasn't it? And then as the cruncher was saying to me earlier, the game got to extra time, which is normally we're going to wait and see for penalties. And suddenly it burst into life, didn't it? But yeah, I mean, the Italians have beaten was it an 80-year-old record in terms of matches undefeated? I think they've gone to 31, 32.
Yeah.
Brilliant that Maldini's done that for them. We'll see though. They did look beatable last night, didn't they? They did look beatable.
Mancini, not Maldini. Mancini.
Oh, what am I talking about? Mancini.
Even I know a bit more than you, man. That's a rarity. That's a rarity. Ben asked, how do I make my testes my besties? Manscaped.com with the code TT.
Was that your own line? Was that your own line?
No, it's one of the ones they prepare.
Oh, I was going to say that was very good. That was very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, sadly, we're not backed by big corporations. We haven't got things paid for us. We've got to keep the lights on ourselves. So we need adverts, need sponsors, need Ko-Fi. Do you know what I mean? We do it all off our own back, and my wife doesn't like the bill when they come in. Trust me.
We're only doing it. We're only doing it because we've got the blue and white DNA in our blood. That's the only reason we do this show.
Absolutely. Talking of that, the person with the biggest. I mean, if you cut him in half, it just come out screaming crazy and bluey. It is Hard Truth. Mr. Richard Moss, welcome, my friend. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm good. You?
It makes me laugh every time I play that intro to think Michael Francis, one of the most brutalist mob members the world knows, has that as his theme tune. And it's like, it's his bizarro world.
Another synergy.
Exactly. I know. You weren't with us yesterday. Obviously, you were at a cup final. First of all, talk to us about that. How did it go?
Right, so it's a bit of a weird one because Archie moved. This was his first season at Sawston, but this was the cup the year before, Matt, so it was the under-9s.
Right.
But they allowed him to play in the semi because of COVID, so he only played in the semi. And then yesterday we played Soham, the two best teams, probably by quite a distance at that age level, played in Cambridge at Neville School. But we played them twice this season. We beat them 3-1. It was 0-0 over there. It was always going to be a tight game. I messaged you two about it was the best and the worst in kids football. It wasn't the greatest game. We didn't deserve to win. We lost 1-0. It was a debatable penalty, but at the end of the day, there was 3 lads, guys, who were reffing, and they're probably 16 years of age. Now, people want to get involved in the game, might not be good enough to play. You know, referees are weighing. They're only giving what they see. And some of our parents were an embarrassment. I'll tell you that now for a fact, with what they were shouting out. And I thought, listen, they're 10 years old. The ref's got no affiliation to either team here. You know, he's only giving what he said. He didn't actually give the penalty, which was a weird one because he was about 5 yards away. The linesman's 35 yards away. Has given it. He's in front of their parents. He might have had a bit of pressure. That's by the by. It's under-10s football. And at the end of the day, Soham were the better team. But it was a weird one because we played some really good football. Both sides have played some really good football. And there must have been about 150 people there. And I think for a 10-year-old, that's a lot on it. And it's a lot of pressure. And when you've got, if I was reffing personally yesterday, that final, I would have stopped the game. I'd have gone over to the sideline and said, listen, shut your mouths. You're here to watch. Let them play football. Too much.
You're a man. This is a 16-year-old kid. He's still learning that. You know, was there an assessor there?
I don't think so. There was a guy over the other side in between the two coaches. But look, it's a cup final. Kids are 10 years old. They wanted to win. Our kids were, most of them were all in tears at the end of the game. But like I said to Archie afterwards, and his coach said to him afterwards, he was giving them a little speech. He said, what have you got in your hands there? And they said, I said, a trophy. He's like, listen, we've got in the final and we've got something. There's 60 other teams in the area who didn't make a final. Now, use that. Look at them celebrating over there. It hurts when you lose. Next time you get there, don't be like that. Go and win it. So, look, great season. It's the only game we lost all season, guys. So it was just a shame, but that's how it goes.
It's the eternal problem with parents acting like that at kids' games. It's been going on for years and years and years and years, and will probably always go on. Because the kids just can't be allowed to let on go and play the game. The parents want it more than the kids, I think.
I know what football's like, guys, because it's an emotional game. But when you've got kids there who are 10 years old and they're just trying their best.
I can't speak. My dad was one of those. He was the coach, but he was also one of those. He was famous for it. Even when we got into adult football and he was my assistant as I was the manager, he'd get himself sent off, all sorts. And it was just He played the game with the kids. He kicked the ball. He headed the ball. He fought for them. He fought with them.
There was a guy I knew there, Martin. He was there yesterday. And he was watching. He comes from Haverhill, and they had an under-11s game. And he's come over. He come and speak to me. He said, "I was over there watching that game. I had to come over to yours because the noise." And he wondered what was going on. And he said he'd never seen the first half. Literally was 100 miles an hour. Now, we've got some good lads who are at Norwich, at Cambridge United, really good footballers. We were getting the ball and lumping it 60 yards. And you've never seen anything like it. The ball was like a hot potato. It was as if the occasion had got all too much for everybody. The second half, it did calm down a bit. We played a little bit more football. But I can't sit here and say, look, I know some of the parents will probably say, oh, look, we lost to a penalty. Yeah, we did. That was after about 8 minutes. You still got nearly the whole of the game to get that over, get it out of your mind. So to say that we lost, no, we lost because we weren't the best team on the day. So we're the best team. And I was a little bit biased because my mate Robbie, his boy plays for Soham, and he was voted man of the match, Henry, and he played centre-back, and he was absolutely outstanding.
Right. Well, after chapter and verse, let's move on. I asked a simple question. 4 hours later, we're still talking about it. I'm only joking. How
many minutes each way do they play at that level?
It's 25. So that was the last game, 7v7. So next year we go to 9v9, bigger pitch, offside, bigger goals. I think they play half hour each way. So I remember playing. Did you play when you were younger, Martin? I was like 10 years old playing on a full-size pitch.
Yeah, we used to do that. Crazy.
No, it wasn't until we were like 13, I think.
You're younger than us, aren't you? Me and Matt are older, but full-size.
I look older.
It's full-size goals. When you think of it now, it's all small-sided football, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it's changed.
Yeah, it's all pathways and all that sort of junk. Cox's comments. Dark side of youth football, mate. Being there, experienced that. Coaches and volunteers do it for the right reasons. He's a very good player, says Ben Moore. Steve Davis. Glad I've tuned in for the Under 9s Cup final report. Absolutely doing the job the Greeners should be doing. Anyway, moving it on to our fearsome four very quickly for the European Championships. Get involved. Link in the chat. I've got the league table after 2 weeks.
The leaderboard? You've kept that under wraps for the first.
Are you ready
rounds.
Here is the leaderboard after 2 weeks. Gavin Turner leads the way with 6. Mark Rattle with 6. Matthew Noble with 6. Nigel Price, and then our very own milk tray man, Ben Adams with 6. So at the moment, as things stand, Gav, Mark, and Matthew are winning some prizes courtesy of Away Day beers. Well, this is it. Us three have got 3 or less points, so we are off the board altogether.
I got 3. You told me I got a score right in the first one because you have to get the actual correct score of the game, don't you?
You do, and I've had a few questions this week about it's knockout football now. So what happens? So what I want you to do is I want you to put the 90-minute score, and then if you think it's going to go to extra time and penalties, as some do, you could put 0-0 Italy-Austria. 1-0 after extra time, and then I will sort it out from there. Okay, but you'll get points.
Betting, isn't it? If you have a bet on a game, it's up to 90 minutes. And I don't think there's anyone out there who was betting yesterday on Denmark 4, Wales 0. Although it was fantastic viewing, wasn't it? Wasn't it great Wasn't it great the last goal when it was 3-0 anyway, and it took an age for them to get the VAR right?
Why are you not supporting Wales? I don't get it.
Do you think they're supporting us?
No, of course they were. They won't be now. No, they'll be
now. All them Welsh fans out there with Wales flags in their bios, Matt, they'll be quickly changing them to German flags for Tuesday. That's the way it works. Why are you supporting them?
Well, this is it. And the thing with the league table is last week, week 2,
we're all British.
We had so many funny results. For example, the 4 games were Hungary versus France. Well, nobody saw Hungary getting anything anywhere near what happened. Portugal, Germany. Well, obviously, that was 4-2. No one saw that. Italy, Wales. People came closest with that one. And then Switzerland, Turkey. Most people had Turkey winning 3 or 4-1. One person had 9-1 for Turkey to win. I don't know what he was on that day, but a 9-1 result. So that's why it's so tight. So after only 2 weeks, if you entered it this week for the first time, you could still go top of the table.
Is photography. Is he a Welsh fan by any chance?
He is. He's a Welshman, is Jem. Yeah.
Is he supporting England on Tuesday? Are you supporting England on Tuesday?
I don't know. Ben Moore entered earlier in the week. I'm fairly confident. But football's a funny game. How many points have I got? I don't know. Let's have a look. Are you on the board? Ben. No, Ben. You've got less than 3. I'm sorry.
Less than 3 means 0.
It does. I'm being kind, Crunch. I'm being kind.
I had a chance last night, guys. I had a chance last night of a ticket for England-Germany, Matt, on Tuesday. But there you go. Is he really? I don't think it was a real. £100 they said they'd sell it to me for, and transfer me the money, and then I'll send it over in an email. And I thought, I'm not.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, and I've got
I've got a Nigerian cousin.
I've got a Nigerian cousin. He wants £2.5 million. He can send it to me tomorrow if I send him all my bank details. Funny that, isn't it?
The Welsh were out of their depth a little bit yesterday, weren't they? Even with Bowen.
Oh, it was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for them in the end.
I think 4 was probably harsh, but yeah, I mean,
Did you see his interview though, Matt? Did you see his interview after the game?
How salty
was he? How salty was he? We would have bet him for 25 minutes. What game are you watching, pal? You lost 4-0.
I think Page would have been better off just saying, you know, we got beaten by a much better team. They did. That was the reality of it.
They're using that emotion, aren't they, Denmark? They're using that emotion, Denmark, with Ericsson.
Yeah, they are. But anyway,
Denmark won't win it anyway.
Fearsome 4. You've got Belgium, Portugal, France, Switzerland, England, Germany, Sweden, Ukraine. Predict the correct score. 3 points for getting it right. You get 2 right, you can go top of the table already. It's crazy scenes. So, I just see end of the game, the Welsh had given up poor from them. It was poor from them. Speaking of poor, let's segue into it. Aaron Drinan, he's gone. Aaron Drinan, he's gone. Happy days.
Is it official? He's gone, or is he going?
Don't play with my emotions in this way.
No way. What's Kenny Jackett at Orient seen in Drinan to think this guy's going to help us get into League One? I don't get it. The guy's got 1 more goal than we have.
Got a Norwood.
Ipswich. Very strange.
Got a man bundler. I first of all got to apologise because I said we'd never get a fee for Aaron Drinan, and we apparently are getting a fee. So I apologise. I think I said I'd do some sort of forfeit if we got a fee. So get your suggestions in the chat. I'm not going to do some of the crazy ones, but I'll do something. It
can't be a lot. It's only about 10 grand.
Don't set fire to anything.
No.
After last time.
I still think it's a waste of time. I still think we could have done better by the player and just saying, look, you're not part of our plans, go and find another club. Because free agents get more pick of other clubs. But they did get a fee, and I was hell-bent on saying they would never get a fee.
Orient's a decent club, though, Martin. That's a good move for him.
Orient. Yeah, I like Orient. My dad used to go and watch them. He was from the local area. We used to go and watch them.
Perhaps Drinan might stay if you ask him nicely. Oh, fuck, don't play
I don't think we can, you know, McCarthy took a punt on Drinan, didn't he? Brought him over from Ireland, brought him in. It's not Drinan's fault that he stayed around the place.
Ain't my fault either.
No, but I mean, look, we're talking about them. Wales being out of their depth against Denmark last night. Drinan was out of his depth. But if McCarthy, Lambert, and Cook all give him an opportunity, he's going to, isn't he? He's on the staff. You know, fair play to him. He's hung around that long. Fair play to him.
I've never questioned his effort, never questioned his work rate. In fact, I've often said, well, not often, I've said once or twice that he maybe should start because of his work rate in that one up front role. But I've sat through every game last year. My eyes can't take any more. They literally. And when he burst onto the scene last year, everyone was saying, "Oh, against Wigan, he might be a player."
Did he burst onto the scene?
You're not Roy Keane now when Micah Richards said he burst onto the scene.
I wonder how different his career would have been if he'd scored against Wigan on that opening day. He hit the bar, didn't he?
I wonder how different I'd be if I was with Martina. I mean, you know,
we'll never know.
I wouldn't be sat here, would I?
Good luck to him there, though.
Well, yeah, I've already got a bet with our very own George Nunn. We've got 20 quid to a chosen charity that he won't score more than 10 goals.
What? Why didn't Kenny Jackett win?
He never gets 10 goals. George more than 10 goals.
Yeah, George's help. Yeah, George thinks he'll be a great success lower down the pyramid. I said no chance.
I think Hawkins will get more machine gun. There you go. You should do who's going to get more.
There's a challenge.
That's a good one.
Who's going to get more goals next year? Me or Hawkins and Drinan combined? There you go. That's how confident I am, and I'm not playing league football next year. I'm telling you.
It does make you chuckle what, good managers like Kenny Jackett and Nigel Clough have seen in Drinan and Hawkins to think they can spearhead a challenge for promotion.
Behave.
I think you could ask, what did Paul Cook and Paul Lambert see in them to give them an opportunity in our
budget
race, which, by the way, has seen 5 of our players going to League 2, now 6.
Well, budget restrictions. You know, Jackett's working obviously with one arm behind his back, quite clearly.
They brought a lot of players in, though. I don't think they are, to be honest. They brought a lot of players in. Omar Beckles is one they've brought in from Crew, I think.
Yeah.
Or Shrewsbury, one or the other.
About John McGrill then, because it's all about budgets and
What a weird
managerials.
one.
I mean,
Swindon.
He's now left Swindon with immediate effect.
And he's assistant. That was weird. And he was in the running, of course, as part of the Scouse Mafia that's at Portman Road, to have been one of the assistants for Cook.
He's still not got an assistant, has he, Cook?
No.
Could still happen, maybe. I don't know. What's Jeffers then? Just a coach?
He's a coach, first team coach, along with Gary Roberts. Yeah. Ben Moore, drilling for a social event on the booze. Hawkins, painter and decorator at Mansfield. Stephen Parry, Mansfield looks strong. Mansfield need Alex Gilead if he hasn't gone anywhere yet, Stephen, because Alex Gilead supplying the front line there would be absolutely electric. Talking of front lines, we need to move ourselves on to Macauley. He is obviously a Town fan, so I wasn't aware of. Chantry boy, born and raised on the playgrounds where he spent most of his days. Got it in. I know. Thank you. I've been working on it. Talk to me. What do you feel? I'll ask Crunch first about this signing. Do you think it's a good signing?
Yeah, I watched his. Have you seen his interview on the website?
No, I've not watched it yet.
Yeah, they put it up about half. Look, he looks really excited coming back. Obviously, 12 years ago he was here. He's a fan now. Sometimes a loan signing, you don't know what you're going to get out of them, do you? It's a bit of a risk. Are they invested in the club? You just got to listen to his interview and look. He can't wait. He said, "I can't wait for the first game of the season," because obviously not just for him, for his family as well. He's probably got friends in the area. I had a few. So last night I was looking on the QPR. I got a message from an Orient fan. So the Orient fan said, "Very good, honest player. He can get you out of League One. Done well when he moved to Charlton. Good finisher." And then QPR fans, I've got 3 of them. Needs a few chances to score, but will bag you some vital goals. Another one like him, needs a run, gets in good positions. Under Paul Cook, he will bag you loads. And then another one, he's a grafter that will score in 15 a season in League One, but no craft to his game. But so I've seen him before.
You found all 3 QPR fans?
Now.
Wow. Yeah. Good work.
But if you look at his career, because obviously he's at Town, then he went to Colchester. But then it was really at Leighton Orient, wasn't it, where he shined, and he got 91 games there, 45 goals. I remember him at Charlton, Martin, when he went there, and I see him play a few times, and I thought, I like the look of him. Obviously struggled a little bit last season. He only got 3 goals in 35 games, but then I think he only started 8 for them. He played a bit with Dykes in a 2, and then obviously they signed Charlie Austin, didn't they? So he was sort of off the bench. But I think he's 25? He's got 76 career goals in 250 games. I think he's a good signing. He's at a good age. He's a Town fan. I think that's a massive plus point for me. I don't know what you two think.
Yeah, I like it. I saw him play quite a bit at Leighton Orient because I was doing some non-league stuff then. Particularly saw him against Braintree. He was brilliant. Played off the shoulder. I've seen a lot of fans, Matt, playing in behind a striker. So they've done their teams on Twitter or whatnot, and they put Bonne behind Norwood. That's not what Bonne is. And if he's been brought in for that, I'm worried because Bonne is he's a last shoulder. He's a hustler. He's a bustler. He's one up front,
isn't he? That's what QPR were playing last season. That's what he's going to bring. I've got a friend who's an Orient fan. Like Rich says, he scored something like 45 goals. He went straight from non-league into the Championship with Charlton. So he's jumped through League 2 and League 1 and then scored 11 goals for Charlton. So I think it's going to be a really good signing. I saw Hawks there saying 15 goals minimum. I'd agree with that. I think he's going to be a really good signing for us. And I think his deal would have, after the loan period's finished, he has another year out, plus maybe an extension if QPR wanted it. I think probably the fact he's on a season loan means we could probably buy him, I think.
Oh, yeah. We'll go up, potentially, definitely.
Yeah.
So
really
who really benefits from this? Who really benefits from this type of player coming in? Does anyone want to go first? I can go first if you like. I think someone like Wes Burns really benefits. Get down that wing, get that ball in the box. You can play that ball in behind into the channel. You've finally got a willing runner with a bit of pace. To do it. And this is something that maybe we're seeing throughout the window. We're getting faster. After years of saying Town are slow, we're getting faster. And someone like Wes Burns will benefit from someone like Macauley Bonne. Who else will benefit though?
Well, I think someone like I think Raheem Harper's going to benefit because, as Chris said to us yesterday, if he plays in that number 8 role, which we think he's probably going to, in what was Dazelle last season, he's now found someone who can actually get on the end of a pass or with someone he can link up with. So, I think it's going to be a really good signing for us. I think it's a statement of intent, isn't it, that we can get those players to come in. Yeah. What do you think? Rich? Who do you think is going to benefit? I mean, I suppose Paul Cook's going to benefit because now
I've got a real left field one. Martin knows who I'm going to say, so he was talking about it last night. I've got a real left field one who I think is going to benefit and give a right kick up the arse. James Norwood.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
As does Jim. Norwood.
I agree totally with that because he sees him coming in now and he's thinking, if we're playing one up front, I'm not nailed on. So I've got to look. He's been grafting through the summer, and I know. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm prepared to go full circle, and when the season starts, get behind him. Concentrate on playing football. I think with Norwood, he's always going to be active on social media. I think we just have to accept that. I think he rubs up some people the wrong way, me included sometimes. But then I see a lot of Norwood in me with some stuff that he tweets out. So I can see.
Yeah, so do I.
Look, I just hope that he gets fit, stays fit for the whole season, and see what he can do because he scored 11. Was it 11 the season before? He got 10 last season. He's only been about 50, 60% since he's been here. But now I think he's working with someone. I was reading the other day the article that was in the paper when he had a groin problem to get him back to full fitness. And we've obviously got proper people in proper positions now, like sports science guys, fitness guys. So getting him up to speed is what we need to do. But I don't think Norwood will be on the first game of the season. I think he'll be on the bench. I don't see him as a starter at the minute, but I just think this is what he needs to someone who can challenge him. I don't really see him playing together. I don't think games when we're chasing, when we're maybe behind or drawing and we need a win at home. But I don't see him playing together. It's going to be one or the other, isn't it, really?
It's going to be the 4-2-3-1, isn't it? Interestingly, do you remember James Allaby, was it, who came and played in that game at Doncaster? Bonne did play with him up front in a 2 for Orient in within the National League. But yeah, it's going to be one. There's only going to be one striker's position there, and then the 3 behind.
Yeah, see, I think the other way. If Norwood played like he tweeted, he'd be at Barcelona. He tweets brilliantly, but his play over the last couple of years has been sporadic because he hasn't been fit. This gives us an insurance policy, or it gives Norwood a good kick up the arse, and it means he's going to be relegated maybe to that second, third striker role I was talking about at the back end of last year.
Might get more out of him that way, Martin.
You might do, wouldn't you? Yeah, 20 minutes here, half hour here, 45 here. Yeah, you get more out of him because he can finish. That's the annoying thing about James Norwood. He can finish. He just doesn't seem to be able to put the beyond.
Fact remains, as Chris said to us yesterday, Martin. Even he identified as an outsider looking into Portman Road. Norwood's not the kind of striker you're going to take into the Championship, whereupon Bonne would be.
You hope so, yeah.
Yeah, but then, of course, we've lost Drillen and Hawkins, and Sears has gone as well. So you've got to think, is another striker due to come in? Will be another 2 to come in? I don't know.
Be a tough sell, though, wouldn't it? That's the problem, you see. It's a bit like the goalkeeper situation. When agents and players know you play a 4-2-3-1, it's now going to be a bit more of a tougher sell because they look at the squad and they'll think, we've got Norwood, we've got Bonne, you've still got Jackson potentially.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Where am I going? Yeah, he'll probably go, but at the moment you've still got him. So where am I as a signing going to fit in? So like this goalkeeper situation, they may have wanted Amos and Sigarest.
Yeah,
but both are looking at it going, well, if we both sign, we both can't play, and Holy's there still. So you're only going to get one, I think, and that's going to be Sigarest. It's looking like Jonathan Stringer, our posh fan, our resident Peterborough fan. He's just wants to know about David Cornell. I feel sorry.
But he's up there, trouble Christy Pym, isn't he? Is that a definite signing? I know he was training there. Have they actually signed him as backup of that?
Don't know. Well, the rumour has it, yeah.
We had old what's his face, Remy Matthews, training with us for a bit, and he went to Bolton. Was it in the end? I think a lot. And he's local to that area, isn't he? I think was he Northampton.
I think
that's on the
bad business.
Not when you're going on about our goalkeeper, Martin. For the last 2 seasons, we've not had a number 1. We've had 2 people. Well, I know Holy probably played the majority last season, but the season before it was Norris. So I wouldn't be bothered if Holy went as well. You got this Seagrest in, and then you sign a kid, whatever, just to sit on the bench. Do you remember Lee Bracey, Matt, when we were in the in League One,
Mike
in the Championship? He didn't ever play, did he? Always sat on the bench.
Mike Salmon.
Bernie was famous for those older goalkeepers sitting behind a younger player. The thing with the Cornell situation, the thing with the Cornell situation, I guess, when I bring Stephen and Colin in a second to get their views on Bonne and this, it's what I was saying at the start of the year, or back in the last season rather. Throwing good money after bad. Like, could we have not have offered Cornell out as a free, find yourself a club instead of paying him off and then him finding a club? Evans did that early doors. I mean, Delaney being paid off and then ended up in Crystal Palace.
Had a good career there as well.
He did. Yeah. I'm sure I read once that he told Geordie he was going to Canada and then ended up in Selhurst Park. Might have read that wrong. But I don't like paying players off.
No, and Cali says he has signed for Posh. So, he's landed on his feet there, isn't it? He's found himself in the Championship. Unbelievable. Fair play to him. Good luck to
him.
Stephen Pay wouldn't mind Sigarest and Holy on the bench. Stephen, you wouldn't mind Sigarest and Holy as you want 1 and 2?
No. I think that a goalkeeper is it's an odd position, isn't it? You can have anyone as a goalkeeper, a reserve goalkeeper. If you're going for a first choice, you get first choice. Barring a disaster, like when Chelsea had their issue with their goalkeeper, he's only going to come in the reserve's only going to come in every now and again. Sometimes he'll never come in all season, And we've said this before. We've had 2 quite good goalkeepers who are evenly matched. And we can't pick between them. Manager can't pick between them. So get a good one and an average one, and then you play your good one. And if there's a problem, your average one steps in. There's no point paying for 2 good goalkeepers. You don't need one. Just so we've got. Why start buggering about going for McGill free, probably more money than Hawley's on, or anybody else. Just keep Hawley. He's there. He's contracted. Keep him for now. Bring in Seagrist. Tell Hawley, look, you're not going to be first choice. This guy is, and then we deal with that. If Hawley doesn't want that, then we'll get somebody else. But
the thing is, Stephen, I totally agree with you there, because if you look, Matt, you look at the Stoke goalkeeper who he played for Lincoln in the playoffs, didn't he? And he played for Peterborough when Pym got injured on loan. Now, if you sign your number 1, he comes in. Look, he's probably going to play the majority of the games. Say he gets a bad injury and you want another goal. There's goalkeepers galore out there you can pick up on loan. So that's why it wouldn't really bother me who the number 2 is.
I'd rather keep the money for somewhere where it's more needed. A reserve goalkeeper, the wages that we'd be paying that, and any fee or whatever, any signing on fee for that, that's more needed somewhere else in the squad. It's not needed as a reserve goalkeeper who's not going to do anything. My God, you could stick that young lad from under 18s on as a reserve goalkeeper. We needed to.
Nice back, man. I thought he looked quite good in his little cameos he had in the EFL Trophy. Was it a couple of seasons back? They let him go, didn't they?
But that is that. Sorry, Stephen. But that is how clubs normally manage, isn't it? They either go for a solid number 1 and then an experienced head behind, or you go for a solid number 1 with a hot prospect that you're developing. Very similar to Craig Forrest, Richard Wright. You let Forrest play, you develop Wright, and then the time comes when the natural transition comes. And it goes over. We've not had that for a long time at Town, since probably Forrest and Wright. But we've had Bracey, Brannigan, etc. So talk about Macauley Bonne then, Steve. Does that equal the end for James Norwood up front? Is that what are you thinking?
I don't think it's the only striker we'll get. I reckon we'll get another one, because I don't think Jackson's going to be it, and he won't go into the season with just Norwood and Bonne. That's too much of a gamble, because sometimes you might have to put 2 up front, and if you've only got 2 strikers, you can't really do that. So I think he'll get another one in. Whether that's on loan or not, I don't know. I wouldn't be mind to see a couple of loans. I don't want loads. But, it's like, I like the player. He seems like he wants to be here, which is more important than anything. And Norwood does need to kick up the ass. At the end of the day, he's not getting pushed by Hawkins or Drinning. He probably goes into work thinking, well, this is easy. No, I don't have to do nothing. And I'll still get picked. That's not good enough. We want people coming in saying, I've got to work 100 times better than anybody else to get picked. And he doesn't have to. He knows that. And so he just goes in, he coasts, and he's not bothered. Then he goes home on his Twitter and thinks, I want him thinking about getting into that team week in, week out. And with players like Hawkins and Drinnan ahead of him, you know, he knows he doesn't have to because he knows he's always going to get picked if he's fit. And I don't want that at all.
Totally
I think
agree.
with Mickey Mellon being back at Tranmere, I still feel like Millwall could end up back down. It just seems a better fit for him, quite frankly.
I think, what's he got, a year left, Matt?
Yeah, with a year left.
Yeah, I think he'll do this season. If he does the job and gets us up, he's not going to be able to step up to the Championship anyway, is he? But like Stephen says, it's good that someone's got pressure on him. But I think we're going to obviously operate with a smaller squad, but it's still going to be the squad that gets us out of the division. It's not just going to be your starting 11, but we do need these players who can come off the bench and make a difference and score a goal, you know, create something when we're struggling. Everyone's got to chip in.
Well, if you look at
Did you have Troy Parrott back?
No.
If you look at the players that are coming in, they all play multiple roles, don't they? You know, we all say Macauley Bonne's going to be a striker, but he's not. He can play left. He can play left.
Yeah, but he can't. He's not. He's not.
Left and right.
He played one game last season on the left, Stephen. He played one game and then one game, I think, behind the striker. So
he can do it. I'm not saying it's his best position. I'm saying he can do it. Yeah. So he's bringing in players who can play those roles. No one couldn't play inside left if you asked him to. You know, he just couldn't do it. Nobody's that.
He could. He started as a midfielder. Norwood started as a midfielder, Stephen. That's what he was.
Then why isn't he playing midfield? Because he's not very good at it. You know, let's be fair. A lot of the players we've got fit one role, and Paul Cook doesn't like that. He likes players who can play multiple roles, so that, you know, like Birds could play at right wing back, and he also could play at right back. You know, he's bringing players.
Should have kept talking, shouldn't we, Stephen? He could play multiple roles.
He was awful. But the top and bottom of it is like, you know, I prefer that because then you can have a smaller squad. You know, it's like we had a discussion earlier about Dale, didn't we, on Twitter? You know, I'm sorry, I don't see £1 million for Dale. I really don't. Not with 1 year left on his deal. I really do not see that.
And people played for Altrincham a couple of years ago.
They will just sit there and say, we ain't giving you £1 million for a player we can have for nothing next year. I'd rather loan a player in and get him for nothing.
I think with that, Steve. Yeah, I think with that, Stephen, you look at Crew are playing the market. Crew are seeing that the suitors lining up, and it's like Dickinson's real deal. The auction's going up, and they're hoping.
He's right-sided, though, isn't he, Martin? He's right-sided, and you've already got Burns in that role.
That's the point. Yeah, but that's the point. It's not. Blackburn's come in, Blackburn's gone. Preston's come in, Preston's gone. You know, Sunderland's come in, Sunderland's gone. And they're all saying they've been outpriced. They haven't. They just turned around and said, we're not paying $1 million for a player we can have for nothing next year. Why? What's the point? That's not being outpriced. That's being smart.
You've got to respect a club that doesn't have to sell and puts a solid fee on a player. We've too often caved, you know.
They need the money,
they're the ones who are going to be sitting there. I can tell you now, it will go before the end of the window because Crew's going to start. It's going to clock to themselves. We're going to get nothing next year, and they'll want summers, and that price will come down. They're putting that ballpark $1 million out now to see if they can get a taker.
It's negotiation. Yeah, it's negotiation. That's Crew's model, isn't it? To bring youngsters through and sell them up.
He won't go for that. And I have, you know, there's fans turning around saying, "Oh well, it's a snip." You know, you said it, Cruz. It's a snip at $1 million. No, it's not. Not when he's not going to be worth $1 million, and he will not go for $1 million. I can guarantee that. So I wouldn't pay $1 million. You know,
you don't know. You don't know that he won't go for $1 million. It's only paper talk anyway.
Stephen's just so. You're just bitter, Stephen. Stephen, you're just bitter. It's not Alex Gilead. That's all you are.
I don't care about Alex Gilead. But I just say he won't go for $1 million. He's not worth it. Not with 1 year.
I'll tell you what, I've got Charlie Kirk, Stephen, over him anyway.
I go with that, yeah. He's got a better record. But what I'm saying is, you know, we're saying it's a snip, or let's go and pay $1 million. That's like, you know, we're going down the same path as we did last time, and it scares me. Because, you know, last time when we were there with £20 notes and things like that, I don't want that. Because if you start overbidding for players, every other club sees you're overbidding for players. And automatically, 2 million fees become 4 million fees. 4 million fees become 8 million fees.
No, not in this economy, I don't think. I do think he'll go for $1 million, Dale. I do, but probably with add-ons. Like we've seen with Raheem Harper. Probably £500,000 raising to $1 million or whatever.
That'd accept. Yeah. But that's not paid $1 million up front, and that's what they want. No.
All right. All right, Steve, as always, I do appreciate you coming on. Thanks ever so much.
Steve.
He's got made some good points there. Hawk says, though, I thought you knew your onions.
He's still not sorted that fucking alarm out. I could hear it in the background. What is going on?
Bless him. It's not his fault. I actually think $1 million, in today's football world, it's nominal, really,
Yeah.
$1 million for a player that could be worth 4, 5, 6.
It's a starting point, isn't it, for negotiation? But clubs like Crewe have had no proper revenue in. We're lucky, right? We've been taken over, but a community club like Crewe's had no revenue in. They're going to start negotiations high for their players, and that's always been their model, isn't it? To bring young
good players there, Matt, in their Crewe. There's not many who come out of Crewe, not a lot of cop, I think, when you look at down the years.
Yeah.
What I'll be interested in seeing is, now we've got a proper foundation in place and Ashton and co. Do we get as many players that suddenly are unhappy and want to go because the clubs bid for them? Like, how come Crewe haven't got the issue of this player here in Blackburn or after him or whoever and going, well, they're bigger. I want to go there. And then suddenly Crewe having to sell because the player was unhappy. We read that enough times over Marcus Evans' reign. It'd be interesting to see how, as we move forward, how that works, and if we have bids coming for players, and if they're unhappy. Do you know what I mean? Because too often we read we had to sell Daryl Murphy because Newcastle were after him and they were bigger than us, and the player was unhappy. Was it, or was it the fee was just what you wanted? And
what was the fee for Murphy? 4?
3 million. Was it 3?
Was it
3? I thought it
3?
was 5.
I think
look at that. Look, you said 4. You said 3. I've said 5. No one knows. There we go.
What's this rumour Josh keeps putting in here about Gladkey, the Salford keeper we like?
Well,
He's linked now, is it?
Alan Nixon, notoriously right on everything. He says we're not close enough on Sigas and we're looking elsewhere. And this is a name that's just popping up every so often.
He's a good keeper.
I don't think Salford will sell for anything less than.
What is Dundee United then looking for Sigas? Could we put 350 in? Then you think that probably go to 500. Dundee United ain't going to turn down 500 for a keeper, surely.
No, players probably playing it. I mean, you've got Celtic who are interested. You know, lots of things spin with transfers, and you just have to sit back and wait. And
we're interested. Other clubs would be interested, like you say. I mean, Celtic have been linked to him for quite a while, I think. But they've got weird managers coming. That Australian, it's a weird sign. It's a weird one for them, I think. But we'll see. He's a good keeper. Like Chris said to us yesterday, that Segrist is good. Probably not quite achieved the potential people thought he had when he was at Aston Villa and found himself in the Scottish Premier League in a 2-horse race, playing for Dundee United. So, come and be part of our party, promotion party.
This is it. Right, it's Sunday. It's 2:20. It's Sunday roast time with the GOAT, Colin Plum. Here he is. What have we had today, Colin?
I haven't had me roast today yet, actually.
What?
No. Well, I had Andrew and little Alice up today, so we had a little bit of time with them. So I've not had me roast, and to be honest with you, I've had a bacon sandwich made by my dear wife. But apart from that, no, and I don't even know what's on the menu today.
What I want to know, Colin, is I spoke to Colin yesterday, Matt. He was at the cricket at Bury. He'd had one beer. He was going to have another one, and his missus was picking him up at 5 o'clock. Did you fall asleep under that tree?
No, it's fine, mate.
Was this Bury cricket team, is it?
Yeah, up the Victory Ground. I watching my boy play. Yeah. And he, believe it or not, Rich, they were chasing 100, only 100. They were chasing 100. Ian opened yesterday, and he played the most unlike Ian Illens I've ever seen. Because he normally likes to blast it out of the park, But about first 4 or 5 overs, they were like 11 for no wicket after 5 overs. That's not like Ian's side, But anyway, he was still in. When they needed 5 to win, they were 95 for 2. They got out LBW, and he even admitted he was out, which is unlike Ian as well. No, absolutely.
The real question though is, Colin, is it smoked or non-smoked bacon?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. Felicia, was it smoked or unsmoked? Bacon. Yeah. Smoked.
Good. Better stuff.
Smoked. Anyway, getting on to the most important things of the day. Another very good day yesterday. Got a little text from Rich whilst I was up the Victory Ground. And really, really pleased and excited, I think, by Macauley. I think, you know, like everybody else has said, I hate repeating everybody else, but it's true. Like Stephen said, you know, he's obviously wanting to be here, Ipswich lad, Chantry boy. Funnily enough, Ian's team was playing against Kesgrave yesterday, and I was talking to a lad who was playing for Kesgrave, who was actually used to go to school with him at Chantry, and said, you know, he's a good player, good lad, and they've known around the Ipswich area he's wanted to be back for quite a while. So obviously that rumour has been doing the rounds in Ipswich herself for a while. But yeah, I mean, he's saying all the right things. He's obviously gone up and down the ladder a little bit and then back up again, and then maybe, you know, down a little bit back into League One. But I'm very, very excited to see what he can do. And Rich is absolutely right. You know, everybody always says I agree with him, but I do agree with him because me and him see a lot of things the same way. And I'm thinking, I'm a Bury lad. I supported Ipswich all my life since a little boy. Wanted to do nothing more than play for the town, you know, like everybody else. And I'm putting myself in his shoes, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I was with Ipswich, got kind of released, done the rounds, got back to me hometown club. Now, what would I be like putting those boots on, putting that strip on? I know what I'd be like. I'd be giving that 100%. Every minute, every second, every minute, every hour of that game, I would be giving that everything. And I think that lad will be doing exactly that. I really believe that. And that's worth nearly another player to me. Yeah, really.
Well, he said, Colin, on his interview this morning, he said it'll give him an extra 15-20%.
Yeah.
So look,
I totally agree.
You have a lot of lads who obviously support clubs. They're there as youngsters, get released, and then they never have the chance, do they, to play for their hometown club. He has. But when someone, like I think Martin said earlier, when he's played for Orient and then he's jumped straight to Charlton, 2 leagues, look, he's a decent player. And he's not done that well last season. They signed him for 2 million QPR. But he's done it in this division before, hasn't he? So yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for me.
He's going to bring goals, isn't he, Colin? And we were starved of goals last season, weren't we? So that's what we want to see. Creativity and goals is what we want to see as a bare minimum this campaign, right?
It must be good if Mike Brown's saying some really good positive signings. If Mike Brown's got a sly smile on his face, we must be doing something good because this bloke's notoriously miserable.
But we all love Mike Brown, don't we? Deep down, we all. I suppose there's a poem there, Matt. Deep down, we love Mike Brown. Oh, Rich is loving that one. Yeah.
Colin's hung over, isn't he?
You know, he's like us all. I mean, Mike, I love Mike, and he's like us all. He loves the club, and he says it as it is, and he says it from the heart. And yeah, I love the bloke. I absolutely adore him. I think he's fantastic.
You saw that horse racing yesterday, Irvin. Godolphin done the Irish-English Derby double. Did you back it yesterday, Colin?
I didn't, mate. I didn't, unfortunately. Sorry, mate. Oh, God, so you got a nice little bonus coming.
4-1. 4-1 it was, Colin, yesterday.
Oh, dear, missed out on there. Do you like the shirt today, Rich?
Yeah, it's good.
That's the one we wore when we relegated Leeds, wasn't it, I think?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we wore it at QPR away as well, I remember that.
I think we're talking, let me think.
Simon Walton is, so it's Gilton.
Scotland. Was it Scotland who was wearing this? Jason Scotland?
No, that was the next one. That was the next black one. It had the Marcus Evans.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
What's your new away strip look like?
Sorry, Matt?
We've still not seen the new away strip yet, have we?
No, I don't know what's going on there.
I was disappointed Friday night because I thought Ed might come out wearing it. Did you watch Ed from Portman Road?
I didn't. No, I was stuck with the mother-in-law. I was stuck with. Oh no!
You said you had a good time as well.
It was all right. Don't put the good time vibes out there. They do watch this show. Steve.
Cup of tea, cakes?
Yeah. No, we got an Indian. Would you believe? It was lovely. Yeah, beautiful. It was beautiful. You just tuned into Radio 5 Live. This is the Sports Hour. Steve Davis, taxi for the goat. Ben King, Wimbledon starts tomorrow. Can we have the latest news? Is Andy Murray in it this year?
Yeah, he'll be out soon when
he's British when he wins and he's Scottish when he loses. Don't forget.
He's not going to win with that dodgy hip. He's got a bloody metal hip now, hasn't he?
He has. We've got some royalty coming on the show. We've got some RAC royalty.
RAC.
Here he is. RAC.
Tell us about this new car then, Jordan. Tell us about this new car. What's gone down?
I tell you what, lads. What a shit week that was, eh? What a shit week. You call the RA. You've been up since 5:30 going to work. I started work at 5:30. I didn't get home till nearly 11 o'clock. God knows what the missus thought I was up to. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
Now, what a week.
What did you buy? What was the motor? What did you get?
Shit one.
An old Qajar. Not brand new, 16 plate one. Dodgy bloody thing in the driver's seat come flying off as I was driving, didn't it? Unbelievable stuff.
What, the steering wheel?
No, the fucking driver's seat, mate. Unbelievable, isn't it? Fuck you now. We railed like Ipswich Town promotion push.
You bought a Boise. It's been a Boise's motors, isn't it?
I tell you what, mate, I've probably got a better deal there. Yeah, no, man.
Talking about deals, Jordan. Go on, Colin.
I was just going to say, Hawks, perhaps your missus thought you'd joined Matty Hancock's brigade.
Fuck.
Oh, wait.
God, don't bring up all that, Cole. You'll get me in trouble. She watches this sometimes, mate.
Here is the disclaimer. Look, here it is.
These are the
Macauley Bonne. Macauley Bonne. What do you think?
Great signing. I said pre-season. I tweeted, I want players that will play for the club, play for the shirt, give us everything, even if they're not Lionel Messi. Just give me everything you got and let me see you leave everything out there on a Saturday. And I truly believe with the words he's saying and being a local boy and stuff like that, I think nailed on. I think we've got the right man there. If I was James Norwood, I'd be shitting myself now. I think I'd start to think, well, I'm not the main man around here. I'm not the clown. Yeah. Well, he probably is the clown.
He is the clown.
You know what I mean? But I just hope maybe it pushes James Norwood on, if not out the door. Nothing would please me more. But it is what it is. Good signing for the club. We're actually spending real money, not monopoly stuff anymore. It's good to see. There's only 4 through the door, but then we've had years where we've signed fucking loads, and they've been quantity over quality, haven't they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, mate. The thing is, sorry, Matt. Go on. I was just going to say,
Colin, you talk it out.
Fuck's sake. David said, is this the comedy show? We do try our best, David. We do try.
Over to Colin.
No, I was just going to say, I agree with Hawks. You think about back to the Hurst days and that. I mean, it was just, it was like players coming in left, right, and centre. I think there was people even coming in from up the town who just, decided they wanted a game for Ipswich. It was like that. And he's absolutely right. Now, I mean, we're getting, like he says, we're getting the quality in. We're signing not so many players. I mean, I hope, obviously, we're all hoping another 2 or 3 at least come in. So we need a keeper. We need a fullback, and I think basically we need another forward.
I think we need 6 more players. I've got 6 down. Goalkeeper,
6 or 7.
Left back, centre back, attacking midfielder, another striker, and a left-sided player.
Well, I'm more than happy if that happens, Rich. I mean, as long as, like Ox said, they're the quality coming in. But I'm thinking maybe in the next few days, I reckon there'll be at least another 2 come in. I reckon the keeper will come in.
What about the news yesterday that Dobra has been promoted to train with the first team?
Load of rubbish.
What do you reckon?
I don't get the hype. What's the
hype?
hype?
I don't.
Someone tell me the hype. Honestly, it intrigued me. Send me some video footage of Dobra. Just honestly, send it to me DMs and I'll praise you because I can't see any other than one goal against Gillingham in the no
Reserves
that no one wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
What?
I'm with this man.
News anyway. He plays for the first team anyway.
Well, he was relegated with the people that weren't wanted, and then he's been brought back up. Apparently, I mean, it's all part of the same football club, isn't it? I'm with Jordan though. I've never seen it, and people often say, "Oh, we should applaud his desire to stay and fight for the place." I actually look at it a different way. I think you should have gone out on loan, lit up Crawley, and made it impossible for anybody to say, like Jordan here. Oh, I don't see what I don't get what I see, or I don't see what I get, or whatever. But
Jordan and Colin, what do you think about Lancaster going to Cambridge then?
One at a time. Jordan first.
Done nothing, has he? I know he had 2 or 3 good games. I like his old man on here. His old man speaks sense, and to be honest with you, I reckon Jack's quite a nice lad. But the be all and end all is he just hasn't got any cutting edge for me. It's just it is what it is. It's harsh to some people, but some people like holding on to the past and stuff like that, and our own players and whatever else. And I'll be the first to drive Teddy Bishop out the door as well. He's just another one who's hung about. And
that's what I said Thursday. That's what I said Thursday, Jordan. A lot of people wanted a clear out. Yet when we get rid of our own, it's like, oh, don't get rid of him. Don't get rid of him. They haven't been good enough.
Rich. People were moaning when fucking Barry Cotter left. You having a laugh? Fucking hell. He had one good game off adrenaline for about 70 minutes. Got fucking pulled. Come on away at Reading. Got skinned 3 times by a Luco. Cheerio, mate. Down to Chelmsford you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people are.
Colin, before I bring Mike in and swap you around, what did you make of what Matt asked you?
Well, I've known Stephen. I know Stephen Jack's dad for a long, long while. I've known him from the Pot Black days in Bury and what have you, and I've known him for ages. And he's a great lad, and a bit like the Gibbses, really. The family I know.
He's a good snooker player, Colin. Good snooker player, was it? Was Stephen a good snooker player?
Yeah, good snooker player. Very, very, very good golfer. Very good cricketer. Very good footballer. He's one of them, you know what I mean? But no, great lad. No, you know, good, nice family, just like the Gibbses. And they're Ipswich family, you know. And yes, I suppose, you know, it's a bit hard for the family, I suppose. But you know, Jack had to do what he had to do, I think, you know, and. You know, I think that's a good little move for him, to be honest with you. But as regards his injuries, you know, his back operations and stuff, you know, I mean, I don't know this for a fact. Maybe the medical people had a word with Cookie and the owners and that, and said, you know, certain percentage kind of thing, you know, he's going to be fit or not fit, and. Perhaps, and I do underline the word perhaps, you know, people have said, well, you know, I think that's maybe best for the club and also, more importantly, best in the best interest of Jack if he moves along. And I think, you know, with him living in Bury, his fiancée is pregnant, expecting a little one. And I suppose, you know, he's obviously still, like Rich said the other day, he probably hasn't got to move, you know. He's got the same distance to Cambridge as he has to Ipswich, kind of thing.
That's important for him as well. Now he's going to be a dad as well. You know, his family.
He's going to be a dad.
It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, no, I wish him, you know, I wish him and Stephen and all his family all the best. And I hope he does all right, but not too all right against us lot, because obviously in the same league. But, yeah, I mean, he's a good lad, but things have gone slightly awry for him, and all we can do is wish him all the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. Colin, love you as always. Appreciate you, buddy.
Take care, mate.
Thanks so much. Going to bring in someone who's positive for once. It feels unnatural. It feels almost wrong.
You're such a bitch to me. You really are.
But I whisper sweet nothings after the show. Don't worry.
But oh, you already sent me "I love you." Do you know what I mean?
How you doing, Mike?
I'm thinking there's things going on.
How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, good. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
happy.
good.
You're happy. Why are you happy? How are you happy? What's happened?
Because like a lot of people said, a lot of people, lads on here, and people said, we've got rid of a lot of deadwood, and we're now bringing in players that I think, and I think that most of us think is going to actually, give us some real optimism. There was far too many, but yeah, the Dobra thing, I'm still a little, there's something raw about that boy. That's why I like him. There's something raw. Is this his last season to prove himself? Probably, yeah. If he does stay, he's got to prove himself. After that, move on.
I'm with you, Mike, on him. I'm with Mike.
Bishop.
You see, I'd rather see somebody like the guy behind Jordan come in. Personally, great player, fantastic.
I had to have a look just then, see if anyone's behind me.
It's James Norwood.
Stop slating me.
No, honestly, Dobra's okay, but someone like Selena or a winger like that, not Alex Gilead, but I want someone who's a bit better, direct, trickery. Like Dobra's raw. Are we doing raw or are we doing oven ready at the moment?
Well, look, I mean, the brutal thing about it is, right? His work ethic. I love his work ethic. I think he really does work hard. And I think that's the side of him. It's got, that's not the side he's got to work on. It's just like his rawness. And I think someone like Cook will hopefully, and maybe one or two of these other players will sort of bring him on a bit. I think there's a player there. I do, honest. But like I said, how many times do we give a Bishop for me? Yeah, look, move on.
I think he's the same, Mike. Yeah, well, like you had the show yesterday, guys, with Chris from West Brom, and like Mike's saying about his raw. That's a lot like Raheem Harper, Matt. And if you listen to what Chris said, there is a player in there, but he just needs someone to guide him and sort of show him the way, because, like he said, he's got all the tools to play at the very top, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree with Mark. I think Dobra's probably on his last season. I always hark back to, when he got sent off for Accrington. He's got a little bit of devil in him. He's he was standing up against sort of some League One, League Two veteran. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important, isn't it? We've been a very soft touch team for so long, and to be honest, a lot of our red cards and fouls have been done through petulance rather than anything else. They're not like they're not done through aggressive tackles. It's just a lot of petulant, real sort of stupid petulant tackles made by sudden rush of blood to the head, and before we know it, the player's been red carded. I mean, there's been a lot of sort of fluffing about in the last sort of week up until we got some more signings coming up. Oh, are we going to get any players? And there's like, oh, we were only going to have a 5-a-side. I'm like, look, again, we keep harping on about the same thing. And you guys are right. Martin rightly said, I have been very negative last year, especially last year after seeing the dross that we all watched. And I'm really positive about this coming season. And I've never felt this positive for a long time. I haven't felt this positive until the season that the season leading up to our playoff win.
Yeah, we've seen quality coming now, Mike. That's the difference.
Yeah, there's money being spent. We're not buying Poundland players and loaning happy shopper loanees.
It was quantity over quality, wasn't it? As Jordan said.
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, Mick McCarthy did an okay job. We all know that, and under the restrictions, and it does make you think. Well, if Evans had given him some proper money, maybe he would have. Got us promoted. But the problem is, as we all know, from a few interviews that's sort of gone on from ex-players and stuff, how the club was being run from inside, and now we've got owners that have brought in people with knowledge, experience. Okay, it could all fall on Cook's feet, and it could end up not doing so well as we all hope. But I don't blame him for trying to work with what he had to work with last year. Them players clearly weren't good enough. And this year we've got this season coming up. I just think I feel really positive about it, and regardless of what I do.
I like it. Positive vibes
about it. Yeah.
I will never get to answer this question. Where's the sleeve Caden Jackson, everybody?
Outside looking in.
Is he now in the third in the pecking order? But who's going to buy him?
Outside looking in.
Somewhere like that. Cheerio.
Where'd you only go, John?
Fucking anywhere but in town, mate. You know what I mean? He's just
Wentworth Rovers.
At one point, I thought he looked all right, but
yeah, but it's harsh on him, isn't it? 'Cause, we think back like season before last, he was our player of the year, probably.
fucking hell, says a lot.
Yeah, it was a low bar.
Yeah, but Hops, according to Jackson, and this is obviously alleged and rumours of that. Here's what he said: he was fit for most of the last season. It's just Lambert wasn't picking him.
Yeah, I just don't. He can be as fit as you like. You know what I mean? He goes from Thierry Henry 1 minute to running like Bambi on ice. Do you know? What I mean? I mean, he'll have a touchdown on the left wing. The amount of times we've got in space on the counter, he's down the left hand side, and his touch is worse than Danny Haynes's, and that says a lot, really. Because Danny Haynes had his moments, didn't he? His touch is minging, mate. Is absolutely minging, and then next breath, he's slotting one in the bottom corner away at Plymouth, and it's he's just nowhere near it. I know.
Maybe we can use him as a make weight in a deal somewhere.
Well, he's a frustrating player, isn't he? He is a frustrating player to watch because, like Mark said, 1 minute you'll get like a world-class player, and then, but that's like 1 in 5 games, isn't it? And then you'll
never get world-class. I mean,
no,
but
there is times, it's just like you say, Henry, Bambi type thing. The reality is Jackson, I think, is a League One player at best anyway. I know maybe in another team playing different formation, different players, maybe he'd be a better player than what he sort of portrays himself. Bit like Lancaster. I hope he does really well at Cambridge. For me, I just feel that's a step down going to Cambridge. I know they're in the same league as us, but they're not when it comes to if you look at the league table, obviously. But
I said Thursday, Mike. I said Thursday about Jack going to Cambridge. He's got someone great to learn under there, Wes Houlihan. Watch him in training. Watch what he does. Watch what he does on the pitch.
Yeah,
I think it's a fantastic place to learn from.
I'm gutted for Jack. I thought there is a player in there. It's just not happening at Ipswich, is it? It didn't happen for him at all when he came on. There was,
weird injuries as well, wasn't it? Stress. Was it stress?
Lads, just a quick question. It happens to a lot of youngsters, and he may not be. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. There seems to be more people on Twitter that know him more than me. Just when he was coming through, and I imagine he was on some sort of pro deal, I assume, not on a lot of money. Is it the same sort of case as how I feel Teddy Bishop went? Because as soon as Teddy Bishop started putting pictures up of Range Rovers and new houses, you never saw the same Teddy Bishop again.
No.
And
injuries, both having injuries, having injuries, and it does derail you, and you lose percent off you.
I don't think Jack or his family have sort of been a little bit look at us, we've made it.
No. I'm just saying maybe. Well, am I saying it goes to the player's head? I don't know.
You're asking the question. You're right to ask the question. Yeah, I just think it's more injuries, though. Personally, I think it's more.
I'm with you, Martin, on that. From what I know, I don't know Jack. I know people that know him. I know lads that have been at school with him, and they all said the same. He's quite a level-headed lad. He doesn't seem to be sort of, above himself or anything. So, I remember stories. I mean, Bishop was a different thing altogether. He was flashing that in the pub, in the nightclubs, waffling around £50 notes like he was some sort of, millionaire forward for Manchester United. The reality is, Jack certainly isn't like that. And I reckon if Colin was on here, he'd probably say, well, I know.
When you go on about injuries, Jack came in, he was a young lad. Now he's gone from playing at Bury Town, where he was on loan for a season, to playing in the Championship. A young lad, he's still growing. His body's still growing, gone to play men's football. It's a massive jump up, and it doesn't surprise me. You look at Michael Owen, came in 16 years of age at Liverpool. He was done by the time he was 25 because they play all this football as a youngster. And then they're like Bishop's body, apart from this season, Jordan, his body's failed him, isn't it?
Yeah, I just agree. I weren't, by the way, to anyone on the chat, I weren't interpreting that he's this glammy, bloody footballer. I was just asking the question. You're right. The thing is,
it's a question you've got to ask.
It's that kind of question they ask in, I watch a lot of boxing. They ask that in boxing all the time. Can you still get up at 4 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk sheets? Once you get to a certain level of wealth which you would be earning a week at Ipswich, have you still got the drive? Have you still got the hunger?
Did he get to the point where he felt like he was in that first team and he'd done what he needed to do as such, you know?
But then you go back to You go back to Raheem Harper there when you're on about the attitude. You're on about the attitude, and if you listen to Chris yesterday when he said he's played under what? Bilic, he had he's played under a lot of managers. Now none of them have really trusted him. So what I took away from that is it's his attitude that he's got to get right. Nothing about his playing ability, because like Chris said, he's got all the ability in the world. It's up here where he's got to get it right. Yeah. And a lot of footballers are like that because they come in when they're a kid. Then they're on. Look, he was at a Premier League team, West Brom. He's got to be on decent money, and it's life changing for these kids, isn't it? It's how they handle it. A lot of them.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone like Jack, like I said, he'll thrive at Cambridge because, like you said, you've got Wes Houlihan there, you know, and the fact he's willing to sort of, I don't know, I guess if you talk about club wise, he's gone dropped down to the fact he's done that to hopefully play first team football, because I hope he does. You know, it says a lot about the character of the lads, because some players, I mean, you know, some players have thought have driven all the way from, I don't know, north to south to try and force through a transfer just to try and earn more money, you know, at a club. And, you know, for me, you know, the fact that he wants to play first team football, and like you say, there is experience at Cambridge with Wes Houlihan, and what better player to learn from him, as much as I hate the fact he played for Norwich, but, you know, it's still a very good midfielder, and that'll help Jack a lot.
He's got a 2-year deal, hasn't he? So that's to prove his fitness, I think. Because they were weird injuries, those 2 stress fractures in his back. Weird injuries to have as young.
Yeah. And the back is the most vital part of your body. It controls everything. And you can lose a bit of strength. Trust me, I know.
You know that.
Some on that case. Right. Have we all tried, as we close the show, some away day beers here on the show? Have we all had some? I've had some. Ox, you had some?
Yes.
Wait there.
Oh, where's he going?
I haven't, and the reason being is I don't drink a lot of beer, guys. I'm not a beer drinker.
Okay, well, but you say that, but now's the time, Mike. Now's the time, because if you need beer for England versus Germany, order by midday Monday for delivery Tuesday. So you've got new beer. There you go. You've got it in time.
Cantonar's collar, but the best thing that I received on Friday. Can you all see this?
Oh, nice, very nice.
Cereal packets out.
Can you see who that is, Matt?
I can't see who
That's
it is.
Sterling, isn't it?
Emil Heskey.
I was going to say, is he Heskey?
In an England shirt. Oh my days!
Hey, scored in that first one against Germany, didn't he? Heskey.
They loved playing with him for England. Michael Owen loved playing with him for England, Mike.
He did.
But he made Jackson look world class.
But anyway, back to away day beers.
I did not rate Heskey, I have to say. Sorry, lads.
If you go to their website and order ready for Euros, if you order by midday Monday, you will get delivery on Tuesday. And they've put a lovely little advert out. Here it is.
Golden goals back, isn't it, Martin? Does he bring golden goal back?
It is. I've got a butcher's bandage out there ready on ice to celebrate a certain person departing our club. But
I will order some. I'll get that done later. In a little while, I'll get some ordered. Go on the website.
Good man. Jordan, Mike, appreciate you both coming in. Thanks ever so much.
All the best, guys.
Matt and Rich, we are back on Tuesday with Ben.
Today. Come on the Dutch.
With Ben. He's part of the German contingent. He's giving the German view.
This is what I can't get my head around, people. I know, like, Ben's got German family, but when Germany get knocked out on Tuesday, which they will be, is Ben going to then support England? It's like it's like Lewis. Scotland got knocked out, and now he's supporting us.
It's a good question.
For one team, you lot. Come on.
It's a good question. But I'm not sure I'm not sure Ben should take that from somebody that's not even on the league table. Whereas
He's only got 3 more points than I have.
Well,
Jeez.
there you go.
Get predictions in. For anyone listening, Rich is wearing a Holland top as he says that.
He does. Anyway, we're done. See you tomorrow, 7:30. Van Basten.
Van Basten.